Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Family and Fertility. Today I wanted to give a quick glimpse about my recent egg freezing cycle, which I just finished last week, and I was recovering from that surgery that I had. So this cycle was special for me because it was full of hope, faith, and it was obviously one of the most unpredictable cycle that I have been through. Like I've spoken in my previous video, I started my egg freezing cycle last year in August when I turned 38 on my 38th birthday. That's when I actually got to know about egg freezing. Before that, I was always under the opinion that, hey, I'm fit, I'm fine, and I'll find a partner, I'll get married, and I'll have kids, this and that, and blah, 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 all of that. But then, through my basic fertility testing, I realized that I have a low ovarian reserve, and then I think what followed was just endless tests. I've been through scans, supplements. I did my first egg freezing cycle in India in the month of January in 2025 this year. I only got two eggs. I've spoken about that, how disheartening that was. And then I came back to Australia. I met so many fertility specialists. I discussed so many different kind of protocols to discuss how I can improve my results. Cost was a consideration because obviously egg freezing is expensive. Every cycle, if you don't have a Medicare rebate, it can cost about eight to $10,000. But luckily for me, and I don't know if it's luckily or fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know how to see it, but because I have low ovarian reserve for my age, I did qualify for Medicare rebate, and I finally got a bulk bill clinic where I could start my fertility journey in Australia. I did uh, one cycle in Australia, which was my second cycle overall, but my first cycle in Australia, where I got four mature eggs frozen. I had an AFC and a follicle count of seven. Five grew, but then only four got frozen. Three were M2 and one was M1. And after that, I realized that it's not enough, of course. So I said that, okay, let me do another cycle before my 39th birthday, which is another 2 months' time. So I finished my third cycle last month, and this time around I got three eggs. Three eggs are M2, mature eggs, which are now frozen. But I think specifically this cycle was very unpredictable because when they tested me for my day one test, my FSH was slightly elevated. It was around 15, but they still started the cycle. And this time around, we had a slightly different dose. So I was on Pergoveris 450, and within first 4 or 5 days of medication, I had one follicle, which was a dominant follicle, and it just took the lead. It became pretty big, 13 millimeter for day five is pretty big, and the rest of the follicles were still very small. So I went on to stimulation until day nine, which is when like my doctor decided that we will do the trigger, even if the remaining follicles or remaining two follicles are pretty small. I think when I triggered, I remember when I triggered on Saturday, the day before that, I did my last scan, and the two remaining follicles were still small. They were 13 and 12 each. And I was pretty disappointed because I was like, why am I going through this cycle for just one follicle or maybe one egg? Maybe it will be mature, maybe it will be unmature. I don't know. So I was like going through so many things, and like always, because I'm deeply spiritual, I'm deeply religious, and with each cycle, I know my count may seem less, like 3x, 4x. When I talk to people, like they say, oh, we got 10x, 15x in every cycle. And I'm like, wow. Like for me, I get 2x, 3x, 4x, and I have to go through so many injections. Uh, and of course each injection is a bit painful, and the hormonal imbalances in your body, and for each egg, because for me every egg is so precious, it's so important. And in every cycle I've been through, there have been endless prayers that I do. I just chant, because I hold on to that belief, because I know that, if anything, my faith is something which will always support me. So even for this cycle, I was just doing prayers and chanting every day, so that it not only gives me the strength, but once I end up using these eggs, they would not only be coming from a divine power, but also through my own strength, my own spiritual strength that I have. So when I remember when I went on the egg retrieval day, and they briefed me about everything, and the doctor said that we are going with one egg potentially, and there is a possibility we may not get any eggs, so we may not just get any eggs. And I was so disappointed at that time. I was like, I've been through so much in last 10 days, and the doctor said, we may not even get any eggs. And I was so disappointed at that time. But I was still just holding on to my faith, and I was like, God, I've done whatever in my power to reach this stage. I've done everything right. I took the injections, I took all the supplements, I'm doing everything right. This is what I have done. My part is over now. Now you please take over. Uh, and I just went with that belief. And the doctor finished the procedure. I under general anesthesia, as we all know, I woke up after 30 minutes. My doctor came to me and said that we retrieved 3 eggs. So I was pretty, like, I was feeling a lot better, but obviously I had that anxiety that how many of them are mature, because ultimately the mature eggs matter, not how many they have retrieved. Because even in my last cycle, we retrieved 5, and then only 4 were mature and frozen. So, I still remember when I was in the recovery room, and there was a lady next to me. She she was on her fourth cycle, and she told me that she did the first cycle when she had pretty similar AMH to mine, even though she's like 42, I believe, and I'm still 38. She told me, I think she's 41, 42, and she told me that she did the first cycle in which she got about 5 or 6 eggs, and none of them fertilized. In her second cycle, the embryo didn't stick. In the third cycle, none of them reached to the blastocyst stage, and then she's on her fourth cycle, and she's doing everything right, similar to like mine. I was just like feeling that as if she's saying similar story as mine. And I hope, I don't know what her outcome is. I hope she, all her eggs are fertilized, and she probably could have successful pregnancy in this cycle, because like I said, I didn't meet her after that. But I just felt, whenever I hear such stories, I just feel deeply sad, but also at the same time I feel that how courageous women are in general, uh, going through so much to bring a child. I mean, they have not even been pregnant right now, and going through so much for that hope, that faith. So, anyways, once I came back from the retrieval surgery, and the first thing I did was I just checked my phone, because usually my clinic sends the SMS within an hour of the surgery. And I looked at my SMS, and they were like, we have frozen 3 eggs for you, and all 3 are matured. And I can't even tell you that stage was, I was like, that was my reaction, because this cycle was so unpredictable. At one time it was at the verge of cancellation, to the fear of getting almost 0 eggs, and then to getting 3 eggs, and all 3 were matured. And somebody who is listening to this might think, oh, 3 eggs, like, but for someone like me, 3 eggs matter a lot. They are a lot. Like, I have to go through so much. And of course, because my count is low, I had a baseline follicle count of 5, so I can't expect like 10 eggs every cycle. But for me, every egg is so important. It's so hard earned. Uh, and my hope is attached to those eggs. My hope, my dream of becoming mother soon, one day, who knows when exactly. But it carries so much importance for me, I can't even tell you. But the reason why I created this video is to share that IVF is hard, of course, as we people who have been through it would know that it's hard. It's like these emotional ups and downs, the roller coaster journey, hope, despair, fear, who knows. But